if you're an attorney or a witness on the criminal case, then you're going to be the jury for the civil case. But I'll choose somebody out of that group that'll be the bailiff. Okay, so we'll have a bailiff who will call order to the court. The judge will announce the facts of the case, so someone will be a judge on each group. The jury will be sworn in. The judge will ask the counsel, the lawyers for both the plaintiff and the defense, to introduce themselves and who they represent, their clients. The plaintiff will have an opening statement for about 3 minutes. We're not going to have a clerk to notify when time's up. The defense will then give their opening statement. 3 minutes, 1 minute, 2 minutes, no matter. Okay, so then the plaintiff will present their case. There will be 2 witnesses, and they will do a direct examination of those witnesses. And then the defense will have a 3-minute or 2-minute cross-examination phase. Okay, then the defense will present their 2 witnesses, then the plaintiff will do a cross-examination of their witnesses. After that, the judge will read the deliberations or the deliberation instructions to the jury. The plaintiff will do the closing argument. The defense will do a closing argument. And then the plaintiff can rebuttal, which is optional there. And then the jury will elect a 4th person to come in with the verdict. Okay, so I need, if you are civil, if you'll go outside, just sit on or stand on the wall there. Okay, and then who's going to do the closing statement? Oh, Natalia will do closing statement. Okay. Okay, so opening, closing statement. All right, so let's look. Okay, so now I need. Okay, for this state, I need 2 prosecutors. And raise your hand if you want to be a prosecutor. The lawyer. Okay, so Lita and Ben will be prosecutors. Okay, now for the state, we got a prosecutor. Now, Ben, you need to do a direct examination on Detective Nikki Lou. And Maribel, you're the only girl here, so you're going to left. So you're going to be Detective Nikki Lou. And Ben, you're going to be the prosecutor to do the direct examination for Nikki Lou. You're going to look at her affidavit, her sworn statement, and ask her questions about it. Okay? So once again, Jonathan's opening statement, Natalia's closing statement for the prosecution.
Wait,
for the prosecution.
So you're allowed to write on these, right?
Huh? Huh?
Are you allowed to write on these?
Yeah, you can write on them. Okay, so you'll do the opening statement, you'll do the closing statement.
About what, like,
Oh, hold on, for the prosecution. Okay. All right. Hold on, I may have to do some. Okay, so you're opening. You're doing the opening.
who's defending?
Your prosecution. You'll just do opening, close your prosecution.
Okay.
Okay, you're on prosecution. You're prosecutor. Okay. Hold on, I'll go over it. Just remember, you're for your prosecutor. You're going to try to make him go to jail. Okay, so you're the prosecutor. Okay, so I need another prosecutor, Salita. Okay, and you are going to do direct examination on Jane Martinez. Amba will be Jane Martinez. Okay, so Jane Martinez, your affidavit is there. Okay, you're a friend of the defendant. Okay, now I need 2 attorneys for the defense. Troy, you'll do the direct examination. You're a defense attorney, and you'll do the direct examination on Dale. Who's going to be Dale? Who's the one who committed the crime? Abroon is Dale. He committed the crime. Okay, and then I need a defense attorney. Oh wow. Okay, yeah. You can. Okay, so I need 2 more. I need a defense attorney. Ken, you'll be the defense attorney for Pat to direct examine Pat Carroll, and then who's going to play Pat? I'm gonna have you do Pat, and then you're going to open and close.
Okay.
You're going to be Dr. Pat Carroll. Okay, so let's look. All right, so let's look at, okay, so in the Superior Court of the State of North Carolina and for the County of Forsyth, the State of North Carolina, the plaintiff, versus the defendant, Dale Reynolds. So this is what happened. All of the parties agreed to the following facts. On September 30th, 2010, Dale Reynolds, 18 years old, shot and killed his stepfather, Thomas Simpson, as Simpson entered the front door of their home at 1516 Lynn Avenue, Olympia. Dale then called the police. Detective Nikki Lou responded to the call, reported to the house, interviewed Dale, then arrested him. Dale was charged with premeditated murder in the 1st degree. versus the state of North Carolina versus Dale Reynolds. All parties agreed to the following facts. On September 30th, 2010, Dale Reynolds, age 18, shot and killed his stepfather, Thomas Simpson, as Simpson entered the front door of their home at 1516 Lynn Avenue, Olympia. Dale then called the police. Detective Nikki Lou responded to the call, reported to the house, interviewed Dale, then arrested him. Dale was charged with premeditated murder in the first degree. Dale waived his right to remain silent and admitted that he shot Simpson, but asserts he acted in self-defense. Dale claims that he acted in self-defense because he perceived that he was in imminent danger of serious bodily harm due to years of abuse at the hands of Thomas Simpson, a condition similar to the battered woman syndrome, called battered child syndrome. Dale stated that Simpson came to live with the family 12 years ago when Dale was 6 years old, and that Simpson had abused Dale, his younger sister, and mother on a daily basis since 1997, when the family moved into their own home. Dale states that Simpson was subject to unpredictable bursts of anger, and he would beat them, smash their toys, and threaten to kill them for failing to do chores around the house. The state of North Carolina claims that Dale acted with a premeditated intent to cause the death of his stepfather and did cause his death. The prosecution denies that Dale was acting in self-defense because Simpson was not actually threatening Dale at the time of the shooting. Dale claims that at the time of the shooting, he was in fear of his life because Simpson had threatened to kill him the night before after Simpson had accused Dale of stealing drugs from him. Okay, jury, Bailey, will you swear in the jury?
Will the jury please rise and raise your right hand? Please indicate your agreement by saying "I do."
I do.
Jury, remember, the burden of proof in this case is on the prosecution. It is to prove beyond a reasonable doubt that Dale Reynolds is guilty beyond a reasonable doubt. You may be seated.
Okay. Prosecutor, stand up. Just introduce yourself and who you're going to direct examine, okay? I can't hear you.
I'm the district
Attorney.
Oh, I'm district attorney.
What's your last name? Yeah. Okay.
And
Who's your client?
my client is Officer Nikki Lee.
Okay. And,
I am District Attorney Bernardo, and my client is Jan Martinez.
okay, thank you very much. And for the defense, if you will introduce yourself and your client, if you'll stand up.
I'm Troy Chapel, and I'm representing the defense.
Who is?
Dale Reynolds.
Okay.
I am defense attorney first.
Uh-huh.
I am representing Dale Reynolds.
Okay, and who are you going to direct examine?
And I am directed examining Natalia.
Cat Carroll. Okay, thank you. Okay, thank you, attorney. Thank you.
Over the years, the defendant claimed the deceased beat them, threatened them, and had anger problems. If such accusations were true, how come the police were never notified? I wonder. And even if it were true, so many years later, that revenge sounds so great.
You're not the dialogue prosecutor. Thank you. Just opening statement.
Okay.
Sounds great though, but.
We have witnesses for the prosecution, a decorated officer of the law who responded to the call of gunshots that night and said that she smelled alcohol on the breath of the defendant. Also, we have a close friend of the defendant, Mrs. Jan Martinez. She claimed that Dale was in a tough crowd and she began avoiding him. Maybe he was a threat. Or a danger. Thank you, members of the jury.
Thank you. Okay, defense, if you'll give your opening statement.
Today we are here to hear the case of Dale Simpson. Dale has stated that his actions of killing his father were just and he was doing it in self-defense. Dale has used a lethal weapon which was a shotgun to kill his stepfather. Dale said that the reason for this was because Dale has endured battered children's syndrome. He has been under abuse for years now and fear for his life. The day Thomas Simpson was killed.
Okay, if the prosecution will call your first witness.
Was the defendant intoxicated?
The defendant had a breath of alcohol.
Were there any signs of struggle?
No, there was no signs of struggle.
Was anyone else present in the house?
Nobody was in the house.
When the victim was shot, was he inside or outside of the house?
The victim seemed to be at the doorstep. I found him on the doorstep lying dead.
When the defendant was apprehended, did he give any voluntary statement?
Yes, he did. He admitted to shooting Simpson and claimed that it was self-defense.
Was the victim armed with any type of weapon?
No, he was not.
Okay, thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen.
Oh, no, you stay down, she's here for cross. Okay, if the defense will cross-examine the witness.
Did he appear to show any signs of satisfaction or happiness from what had occurred?
Not at the moment.
Did the defendant resist arrest or show any signs of aggression or violent behavior?
No.
Did the defendant lie or refuse to cooperate with your investigation at all?
No.
How is he hard to be around?
Well, he started to not come to breaking dates, and he's also been hanging out with the tough crowd.
Do you think anyone could have been influencing him lately?
I would just say that the crowd that he's been hanging out with recently.
You say the gun was loaded, and he told you he would kill Mr. Simpson. Why did you not stop him?
Because I didn't think that he would ever actually kill somebody. That he's always been very, he's never actually gone after him ever before.
How was Mr. Simpson not the ideal father?
Well, a week before he shot his father, he had to go to the emergency room and get 15 stitches in his forehead where his dad took a baseball bat to his head.
Okay, all right, if cross-examined.
So Jen, if you had relations with Dell, why were you distant during the leading months of the death of Mr. Simpson?
Well, I haven't hanged out with him recently because he's been very hard to be around and he's been skipping dates.
Well, if you noticed that he's been skipping the dates and things like that, why didn't you talk to him or try to work it out?
Because I think he's cheating on me.
Well, I mean, it would be better to confront him on it than to assume.
Yeah.
Relevance?
It has nothing to do with the
Yeah,
case.
sustained.
Also, if you've seen the weapon Dell used to kill his stepfather, you said in the statement that you were freaked out. Why didn't you call the police when Drake told you that he was going to kill his stepfather?
Because I didn't think that he was actually going to follow through with it.
Well, I mean, it still would have been, cautious to notify the police. If he actually told you in confidence that he was going to kill his stepfather, he was going to murder someone.
Yeah. Yeah, I just didn't take him seriously. But, I wish I had.
No further questions. Can you explain to me what battered children syndrome is?
Well, battered child syndrome is same as the battered women syndrome. In this case is when the parent beats the or the daughter. In this case, Reynolds, and it causes the son or the daughter to act or think irrationally and cause them to harm the parent.
Alright, so Dell said that he's been abused by his stepfather since 1997. Do you think or believe that this abuse could have accumulated, causing him to be heightened, such as it says?
Indeed, actually, there is an actual word for that, and it's called hypervigilance. And it's the state where the child is being abused, where the child is being abused perceives the degree of danger that causes him to attack the parent.
Mary, so also if that is so, if the child has been under abuse, wouldn't his actions seem reasonable or unreasonable to others but just to him? Since he has been under abuse, wouldn't his actions seem unreasonable to others but a reasonable cause for him?
I think the attorney's trying to say his actions would be reasonable for him to defend himself, but unreasonable to others who not experience the abuse. Is that what you?
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, for children that suffer with this abuse, it can cause them to be depressed. So that makes them think that anything the abuser does to them can't stop the violence they're receiving.
But, Dr. Carroll, would you agree with his statement or disagree with the attorney's statement?
I agree.
Okay.
And also, since you have been in many court cases involving this syndrome, wouldn't you be able to see the signs eventually leading to this syndrome?
Yes.
That's a great question.
Okay. I was teaching Unit 4 Law and Youth, and yesterday I taught the kids civil and criminal due process rights during a trial, and today the kids were doing a mock criminal case and a mock civil case where they could actually apply the information and see how it's actually an adversarial system with the plaintiff versus the defendant, or the prosecution versus the defendant in a criminal case.